door certain thoughts that come over me, and different things I think about, I had my hand on my chest. I had my hand on my chest. I felt like I'm trying to protect myself from, this discordant, poisonous environment. It feels like poison to me because, it's almost like, I could be made out to be the villain. And, from your vantage point, it's like, oh, I'm not working. But the way that you do everything is so immature and untrained. You're like a untrained eye. You're like the equivalent of, if I'm doing something to son that you think is inappropriate because in your eyes you see that I'm doing it wrong because of my own insecurities or hurt. That's essentially what you're doing to me. You're very ignorant about who I am, how I'm feeling, your approaches with me, the support I need at this time, and you're very inconsiderate. You're very inconsiderate, and you don't see yourself. You don't see what I feel and where I'm at. I'm not where I was at when we first got started. I'm nowhere near that right now. Nowhere near that. And I'm in a poisonous environment. I'm in a family, like you're gonna cry to your dad over the phone, then you're gonna take son over there. And if your dad is not if he or anybody else you deal with lacks the skill to even be able to comprehend where I might be coming from, then that's more poison. That's more poison in the ethers. People disdain for me or whatever. That's poison. So I don't know if that's going to be their perspective. So on a surface level, I feel it's poison. You coming in here, I feel like you're a manipulator. That's what I feel. And I feel that your approach is, you don't understand me. It's normal for people to have a knee-jerk reaction or to have a reaction. And you're not even allowing me to have that reaction, so it's even more poisonous because I'm a communicator. That's who I am. So I want to communicate. I'm willing to communicate because that's what I do. And so here I got this poisonous person comes in here and says something, and I have a feeling about it, and she's not respecting my feeling. That I feel like she's not even being upfront. She's telling me, oh, I told you last week. You tell me shit like very random, out of the blue, and you expect me to just be like, you haven't figured out that I'm either going to remember it or not remember it. And I'm going to either choose to remember it or not remember it. And people do that. People choose things that they want to tuck away and not remember. People have been molested and they don't even remember it. Why? Because they didn't want to remember it. Because it was just too painful to even deal with or confront. And you're doing the same thing. You're choosing, I'm going to just spring this on Skylar in the morning. Could have told him the night before. Could have told him the day before. Could have emailed him the day before. But I told him last week, 5-7 days ago, and then I'm going to spring it on him today. What? The fuck out of here. If you have a client, you call them the day before to remind them that, hey, we got an appointment, right? So you're telling me your child is not important enough for you to give a follow-up email, follow-up conversation? You're choosing to do it that way because you are in a space too where it's like you don't want to deal with this. It's too painful. And obviously it's too painful. Why? Because you just showed evidence. You just stormed out of here. But it's poison to me if I'm a communicator and I tell you how I'm feeling, and then you sit and you with your escapist mentality. See, this is how I plug in all these different pieces of things that I learn. See, you see how I think and you see how I can communicate it. But you can't sit here and you don't want to communicate with me, or you don't even want to address. You want me to acknowledge how you feel, but you don't want to acknowledge how I'm feeling. You see where I'm coming from? It's like, that's poison. That's poison, Sarah. You want me to acknowledge your feelings, but then when I have a feeling, you don't even want to fucking acknowledge it. You want to escape. You want to run and start crying, and then, well, I got to feel more guilt. So then it brings me to a story that I was reading online yesterday. Somebody had shared this with me, and there was some art dealing with the African woman, the African man, primarily, but it applies to relationship couples in general. And it was an illustrated piece. It had art to illustrate how the slave master was treating the black man. He had the man tied up in ropes. He didn't have a woman tied up in ropes. You feel me? Isn't that what they did to us? Literally, they did that to us when they pulled us over. They put me in cuffs and sat me on the curb away from you and son. And they put you in son. That's the same fucking thing the slave master was doing, as illustrated in this goddamn picture. The man in the fucking chains and the rope around his neck, away from the fucking kids and the mom and the child over here. And so I just saw this as a visceral reality as I'm watching this. You know what I'm saying? As a visceral reality as I'm watching this or reading this post. And the post was about how the woman had began to not trust the man because the man couldn't protect her. You know, because her man couldn't protect her from this fucking slave master, right? And how she was beginning to resent him. It was just basically, it was very short, but it definitely covered the bases and illustrated how she began to not trust him, began to resent him, blah, 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 because the slave master was raping her too. There was a scene in the illustration where she had her dress up. I guess she had to, you know, and then the husband they was getting ready to lynch him. You know, they had him roped up and everything because he actually had attacked the slave master. And what it was explaining was that the man, she never saw the man cry because, he held his tears because he wanted to be strong for the family. He wanted to be strong for the family. And I was just realizing, it brought me up to a level of consciousness where I realized that I have a lot of pain too. You know, I do. And it's like, damn. It's even more intensified because I realize how ignorant people can be. How ignorant you can be. You storm out of here, you don't even have any clue what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. I don't want to be around my son. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I had to get clear on that. I was like, damn. You know, I was mean. I was mean the other day when I had my son. And it was like, I was thinking about it last night. Like, damn. I don't want to be that way around my son. That's not who I want to be to my son. That's not, he doesn't deserve that. But where is this pain going to go? It's going to dissipate and I feel a great sense of pressure. And then you give me a fucking guilt trip about the PG&E, right? You can't saddle me with son and then think I'm going to get shit done. It doesn't, that particular, and where I'm at this particular time, that does not work for me. That's a lot of fucking stress for me. And there's nobody to help me. There's nobody in the family. I can see people poisoning the ethers being upset. That's possible. But where are the people at in the family that are actually talking to me, that are reaching out to me? See, this is why I said it's poison, because you know, I don't know, and I'm not trying to gloat or anything, but I just like to connect dots. And I just learned that I'm a life path 7, right? And it was saying that the wisdom, the spiritual wisdom of this life path is shown very early. And so I can see that how people are not able to be spiritually enlightened in that respect, where they come to me because they can sense that I might need some support. I've always been the person that can sense that somebody else might need that support and go to them and give them words. I've always been the person who will give encouragement, even if I'm going through a tough time, because I can see that that's what they need, that's going to help them. You've seen me do little small acts of kindness, where I'll give somebody an apple. I don't even know them. Or I'll just walk up and give them $1. I don't even know them. Small acts of kindness. Where's the small acts of kindness from your family? So that's why I have a valid reason to think that they would be so ignorant as to poison the ethers, because they haven't shown me any small acts of kindness. They haven't called me. They haven't said, bro, I just want to consult with you, talk to you, see if you need some love, some support. I feel like I'm stuck in my own way. And I'm definitely the type of dude that, I have to figure things out my own way, but I like to have people help me find my way through the darkness. And a lot of times that can be through the communication, because I need to be able to bounce and ping off ideas. And so you storming out of here is just like, why did you even come in here? It's just not good. Like, if you cannot complete even I can be reasonable. I know you have somewhere to go. You know what I'm saying? I could keep it short and brief, but don't be coming in here with an attitude that, like, you're so emotionally immature. You come in here, you say what you want to say, you get a response, you don't like it, you cry, you storm out. Like, that's whack. You don't even probe to see what's going on with me, why I feel that way. I don't want to be around my son. Not because I don't like my son. Come on, don't even be so fucking stupid. Because I don't want to be around him while I'm where I'm at right now. While I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. I feel like it's pressure because I don't feel I'm exhibiting the capacity to both keep him, manage him, and then trying to manage all of these tasks and all of the challenges that are in my way to completing the task, where I feel deficient in my abilities to complete the task. So I'm thinking and I'm hoping that he's got school today. You didn't say nothing, so you told me last week. I mean, shit, if I set an appointment in my telephone, I don't put one reminder, if you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if I got an appointment 2 weeks out, I'm going to put a reminder a week before the appointment, and I'm going to put a reminder, like, literally 2 days before the appointment, and I'm going to put a reminder 45 minutes before the appointment. That's me, because that's how I do my reminders, okay? Because, that's just how I do mine. So not to say that you have to do them that way. There's this woman once taught me about personalize, that people personalize, that they expect people to do things the way that they do them or whatever, right? And that's what you're doing. You're personalizing how you would do it. If you told me, hey, I need you to watch Son, blah, 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 or if I told you that. And I'm personalizing, hey, this is how I set my appointments. This is my logic. So don't tell me that you told me 7 days ago and then you come springing on me the morning before. Get out of here. So I'm not, also, I'm very aware that you know, we're in a place. This trauma has been exacerbated. And I want this for the record. It has been exacerbated by these fucking police out here. This fucking putting people in positions where they got to even put time into worrying about and thinking about court. And then I hadn't sent that paperwork off yet. Learned helplessness, like I was telling you this morning. You know, I had a lot of downloads last night. And then the court is in like 5 days or something. So literally, I would have to get off that document. It's on the 26th. Today is the 20th, I think. So you have, if you want to do a trial by, what do they call it? If you want to do it through the mail, you have to tell them within 5 days. So I would literally have to go down there today. And I'm trying to figure out, I know I don't even have to go down there because of my national status as a Moor, right? But they don't seem to be, I don't know if they're going to respect, they don't seem to respect anything. They seem to just be fucking terrorists. I've called the fucking public defenders fucking a dozen times, and they have not one time called me back. So they're fucking terrorists. So I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with, damn, yes, I need a job, but I'm weak in the fucking resume. I was so grateful yesterday when you brought me a bike, when you like, that was the first thing I could think of outside of some of the other basic things that you've done for me. That was like the first time that I saw a sort of an evidence that you were thinking strategically about me. See, I already think like that. If I saw that you needed something and then there's people in my environment, I'm always the type of dude that'll get on the phone and call somebody. If I saw that you needed something, I'd be calling people and asking on your behalf. It's actually easier to ask on behalf of somebody else that you care about than to do it for yourself sometimes. So I think like that. So it's like the first time you actually showed me, you probably actually learned that from me, actually, because I don't even know if that's, I don't know, anyhow. But I was really, grateful that you obviously talked to your coworker, asked them if they had a bike, because all of our bikes are all jacked up right now. And you brought a bike over here and it just needed some tubes. That was really, I don't know, I'm still thinking about that. I still have to process that. That was really one of the better things that you've done, that you've shown some evidence of some real practical shit that I need. You know what else you could do that's real practical? That it's like, I'm not gonna fault you. Sometimes I have my own problems and I don't think of the solution to them. And then later, months, years later, I'll think of the solution. And I'm like, damn, it was right there. So I'm not gonna fault you. But I need somebody to help me with a resume. That's it. I'm a workhorse. So anyway, I'm gonna stop this video. What that information, with that illustration that was shared with me yesterday, dealing with slavery, it ended in a good way where the woman, everything that the distrust and the resentment that she had for him, she came to a realization of how this actually occurred, of how it manifested and became this, and how she was deluded into believing this way. And it was all turned around to where she, I wish I had, had it verbatim, but, she understood what was the cause of this. And she understood the psychology of the man that was going on inside of him that caused him not to cry. He didn't cry because he was trying to be strong for the family. I don't know, it is very hard for me to cry. I don't even know why, you know what I'm saying? And I can feel it right now, but I'm not going to let myself cry on this video. I'm just not going to do it, you know what I mean? And I can also get a sense of damn, that is not actually healthy for me. That's like holding my pee. Holding your pee is hella not good for your body. It's anytime you do something against your nature, as I've learned through, vision questing, or the use of, accelerators such as THC, psychedelics. You'll always learn that whenever you hold something back, it's not good for you, very damaging. So I'm aware, all right. I'm aware, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna do it anyhow. So I just want to be understanding that, the way I communicate, and it might to you lack emotion, but I'm communicating that I understand you, I understand that, you're an escapist. So I'm calling you on that. You need to be more responsible. You need to stop being an escapist and sit here and actually care about what's going on with me, and really probe. I had to sit here and think and probe myself to get to the realization of why I didn't come chase after you like I normally do and say, hey, listen, you're crying. No, I'll take some. I'll take some. I didn't do it because there was a good reason why I didn't want to take Son. Because I don't want to be around him right now while I'm in this space. And you don't even probe to see that that's why. So you're in your own little head, you're in your own little world thinking that it's this, when it's actually something else. So we both have traumas. And so I woke up this morning, I was having all types of downloads about, like, damn, I'm not even working this whole time. If I really was able to prioritize and focus on getting these things done, what was coming up for me was a lot of to do with getting different trusts together, like a living revocable trust. How come I haven't gotten that together yet? Also a real estate trust, and there was a lot of my dreams dealing with trust, and like towards, I guess, at different points or towards the tail end, I started thinking about the police and the state and how, there was an article that came out a couple months ago that, they were disproportionately arresting black males and Latinos. What people don't even comprehend is, number one, that's probably another ritual. I don't, like the fact that they even would run a report like that. Number two, where's the accountability? So what? You just told me that they were doing wrong. Now what? Who's going to pay for it? Give me the article that shows me that this judge and this cop went to jail. Give me the accountability. You haven't given me that. So it's just a fucking another sham. Number two, they're also sending a message to white America, hey, we've already arrested all the black people that are on the street because, lo and behold, there's only 1.5% of this population in this area is even black, is even African or Moorish, because we're not black, colored, or Negro, but is even a Moor to begin with. So you didn't already arrested every fucking body. Number three, I've noticed since that time that they have stopped. I don't see them on the street as much as I used to. They used to be all over this fucking place, right? Every 5 minutes you see them riding down the road. Every fucking 5 minutes. Ever since I read that article, you don't see them. Like I can ride the bike at night. I don't have no bike light. You don't see them. Where they at? I know they didn't fire them. See? So there you go. There you have it. Like, they're tricking the public. Like, they'll use this political thing, posturing, where they'll make the public think that they need more cops. They have less cops. They don't need more cops. They got plenty of them. Because when they're ready to start arresting people, they out here. And when they not, you don't see them. So where they at? Shit, they still getting that paycheck. So, I'm just peeping this game. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, I lost my point. In the heat of emotion. Anyway, my dream, that's what I was going at. I woke up thinking that, like, this is just a ritual. Like, they're gonna always track response. Like, I woke up thinking, now that they're somewhat laying low, they're gonna actually be tracking how many people that they've already assaulted are gonna actually follow up with lawsuits. How many people that they've already libeled, and people who have tort claims, people who they've oppressed. How many are gonna follow up? And I was trying to tell you, and I didn't want to tell you. I was like, hey, Sarah. And the way you responded, I just was quiet. I was like, I don't even want to talk to her. Pointless. Why? I don't want to feel the way I'm going to feel if I'm telling you. If I'm sharing something that's on my heart and you don't even want to hear it, then I don't want to tell you. Because I already know how that feels. It's not good. I don't want to tell somebody who's not interested. But I was thinking, there's something called learned helplessness that I learned about. Psychologists know what this means. That you can make you can train them to be in a state of helplessness. You know, this government, they're just as intelligent in some sense as I am. They use the same techniques that they used in the past. When they locked me up, at one time or two times, they put me in fucking chains, like the same shit you saw with the slaves. So like, the crazy part about it was like, I went, when that movie 12 Years a Slave came out, I wouldn't watch it, right? I wouldn't watch it. And then all of a sudden one day I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch this. Because, I was looking for movies to watch. It was in our house, and, it's like, how'd that shit even get in our house? And I was just like, I'm gonna watch it. And I watched it, and I saw how they had them chained right here at the waist and then at the ankles. And then I get picked up for jail. Again, I haven't even broken a law. I have not broken one single fucking law, ever. It's all been fabrication after fabrication. And then the way I respond is I just fucking ignore it. Because I'm trying to figure out, I want to be able to address it, but I want to be able to address it like, pay me, motherfucker. You owe me. You fucking owe me, right? So that I'm just like, when I can get to that point, then I want to go ahead and pursue it. I'm not at that point, so fuck it. I'm not dealing with it, right? So they pick me up because they're using facial recognition technology. Boom. So I'm in jail, and in different points of time, they got me in fucking shackles, like right at the waist and at the ankles, and I'm going, damn. And then they use the same technique to separate me on the curb and you from the child, just like it's like they're using the same fucking techniques. It's visceral. This is why they come out with movies like this. They are using high science. Like when I look at the brothers who understand the science of mind, they're using these techniques. These motherfuckers are and how, what? I'll give you evidence. I know how to use these techniques. Because a lot of people, I'm just conjecturing at this point, but let me give you evidence of how you know the intention and the technique. They had a program right over here in Stanford where they were doing, the CIA was commissioning the university to do a project called on remote viewing, where they were getting these scientists to really break down. See, this is what I already knew this. They use the people with the money, use the people with the intelligence to work for them. They pay them a fee, just like that. See? And they were doing these projects on remote viewing, and they compile this data and this research. They get it all laid out. You feel me? So if they're intelligent, if they will go to that length to do I've actually seen the CIA do test people with LSD. So now I got two things. I got two pieces of evidence. LSD, they've done tests like that, and they get the data, they keep it. They've done it with remote viewing. They take that information, and it's just like any other company. Where can we use this in the rest of our fucking company, right? What other department can use this information to advance itself? And then they have people from each department will have meetings to teach and give, overviews or briefs, or the same way Google's got people coming there to Google to speak to Google, but then they broadcast it through Google so everybody can get the inspiration or get the information and use it somehow. TED Talks does that. You think the CIA is not doing that? Every company, this is a principle. See? So the people need this. They need this too. The people's union, the people need that same type of intelligence. They need to have the same type of intelligence to protect themselves from the union that is supposed to be their protectorate, which is not. Ergo, the United States of America, the states, California, and any other state. You know, it said about the life path 7 that stability in feelings is elusive, can be elusive for us. I don't know. And I always get a sense that when I'm able to talk, if the type of support that I'm getting in the conversation is right, it gives me a form of stability to go forward with the day. How you do it and how you want to storm out of here. I asked you if you could take them to your dad's house. No, you tell me, no, you can't do that, this and that and the third. But see, there again, you fucking lied. You fucking lied. Because then when you stormed out of here crying, you called him up and your dad says, yeah, I can take him. Oh, okay. So there you go. You're fucking lying to me. So you're just sending me messages that you can't even be trusted. That's the message I'm getting. Like, there's other messages in there somewhere, right? What, you know, your psychological process, you felt like you didn't want to ask your dad. Whatever it is, all that bullshit, I don't know. But that's what I'm going to get on the surface level, and it may never go deeper than that, is that you're fucking a liar. You don't talk to me until the last minute. Then you tell me you can't give him your debt, and then you call your dad and you can give him your debt. See? Come on, man. Like, and then you're not even inquiring with how I'm feeling. So you're fucking, you know, I have to go in and figure this shit out for myself. I got to figure out your psychology and my psychology. I got to be my own fucking psychologist because nobody else around this fucking family can actually call me and see what's going on with me. And this is the sickness of families. This is why I am the way I am. This is why I want to do social design, because if I'm suffering from this shit, there's some other boy just like me who is not a fucking life past 7, who does not have the tools and the resources, who's going to go through all this shit and ain't going to understand none of this shit. Ain't going to know nothing. I'm thinking about even putting this out in the public. Let people know all my fucking private business. Just so somebody can be helped by it. Giga speed.